Welcome back to That Fight Card Podcast with the latest and most in-depth news in the MMA community. Hosted by Spider.
Hello, everybody. Spider here once again with Aaron Suarez in the studio, man. We are TheFightCardPodcast coming to you once again from San Antonio, Texas. Doing a little recap, man. We're going to be going over a few of the events going down tonight. That is on a lot of them are three different promotions, basically. So the first one we're going to go over the main and the co-main event. It's going to be for the Lion Fight promotion. This is going to be their promotion number 72. And of course, I mean, we've got a couple of locals on that card, so we kind of wanted to go over to kick it off, man. I mean, Aaron Suarez, man. I mean, first off, the main event, of course, this is going down in Boston, Massachusetts, man. It's going to be Steve Walker, and he's going to be taking on Ivan Bartek. Now, I went over the card, and a lot of these, I don't know if their fight experience or the fight card's not on there, but on this, I mean, obviously it's going to be for the 205 Muay Thai Bout Championship title. And Steve Walker, man, out of Boston. I mean, the guy's coming in with a lot of experience. I was able to find his record, coming in with a win streak. Wherefore, his opponent, man, Ivan Bartek, I mean, the guy, I only found like 3 fights from the guy. Mm-hmm. I didn't see as far as experience, like him coming in with any... he might have. I'm not sure. I mean, I've been looking at a few different fight record stats, but he does have a long kickboxing route record, man. A bunch of losses, bro. I mean, he's coming in with like 5 losses in kickboxing. Yeah. MMA, I don't think he's competed in. But with something like this, man, I mean, what do you think about an event like this?
Where it's just, I mean, strictly kickboxing, Muay Thai. I'm always a big fan of it just because the technique is, strictly just that. You don't have to worry about takedowns. You don't have to worry about anything else. It kind of gets to the pure sport of it. And so, man, I'm always enjoying it. Looking on Ivan's record, he has one where he lost. He won with a knee to the body. Yeah. So that's and if you've ever been able to knee somebody in the body, or if you ever felt one, like, you don't understand how beautiful those are. Like, this just the timing has to be there. The placement, like, everything just kind of has not everything has to fall into place, but it's just something that you really don't see a lot of it, especially right. In MMA when it comes to everything else. But to have a distance, you throw in that nice knee, hit that stomach, and they drop. Oh, it's just wonderful.
That's it, man.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, he does. He has that. And of course, looking at Steve Walker, man, everything is like head kick. So, one thing I will give credit to Ivan, man, is that it doesn't seem like he's getting finished
right
as often. He has a couple of, or he has 2 TKO losses. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 TKO loss, 1 TKO win. But a lot of his losses, man, I mean, they're by decision. So he's
going the distance.
He's going the distance. He shows he's a little bit more durable than what other guys are doing. So that has to be said for something for him, man. And then, of course, like I said, Steve Walker. These records, I know, I'm assuming these guys have a lot more fights than what's on here on Typology. But, yeah, man, everything just looks, head kick. So...
headhunter, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's really exciting. So I can see why he's in the main event, man, fighting for the title at 205. Because I mean, those are some pretty big boys.
Oh yeah, man.
Getting up there, so that's a lot of power. That's a lot of, and then that ring gets smaller.
Oh yeah, yeah.
These guys get bigger. So, but no, I mean, I'm always a big fan of just straight kickboxing and Muay Thai. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and I mean, Steve Walker, man, he is a local, so he's gonna have the fan base, behind him. Yeah. I mean, it's always a plus, So I mean, it is gonna be exciting. I mean, this is gonna be for the 205 title. Mm-hmm. So best of luck to both gentlemen, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, if I gotta put my money on it, man, I'm probably gonna go with Steve. So.
No, yeah, bro, I see him getting that finish and that title, bro. I mean, definitely, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, man. This is gonna be for the Lion Fights promotion, of course, and the UFC Fight Pass. So if you're on there, check it out. Definitely. We're scrolling down, man. The co-main event, we actually have a local from here in San Antonio, man. Washington Dos Santos. Yeah. Now, he is out of Brazil. I mean, the guy's been living here for a few years now. Yeah. And stand-up dude, man. When he had posted, I have him on Facebook, man, and when he posted the fight, it was a little too close to for me to actually ask him to come in here. You know, he's already training, so I said, you know what, I'll wait for after this bout, and I'll tell him to bring that belt with him. You know, so but he is fighting another tough guy, man, and Vincent Vase, German. Mm-hmm. Now this is going to be once again Muay Thai bout. I mean, elbows, knees. You know, of course, no headbutts. But I mean, what are you thinking on something like this, man?
Man, for this bout, yeah. Of course, I'm going to be biased with Washington. Actually, being able to see him fight up close, you know, here at the local events, and just the stand-up, it always kind of came off as this real smooth and somewhat kind of sneaky.
Right.
You know, I'm not the one fight that really comes up to mind is when they had the event here in town where they had Pete Spratt.
That's right.
And,
that's right.
You know, it just the rule, not simple, but it's the rule. Just the technique he ended up using was the jab to the body, and then, you know, straight right to the head.
Yeah.
You know, and he had thrown that a couple times beforehand, and he reversed it a few times as well. So with Washington, man, having just real smooth Muay Thai with his hands, with his head, with his kicks as well. I'm really excited to see him get some shine on a big show like this, man, with the Lion fight. So of course I'm gonna be pulling for him, and like I said, on here I know it shows only one fight. You know, he's 1-0, but I know he's probably had tons of fight.
No, he's actually a title holder in Brazil, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he has a record, man. So definitely experience going into this bout. So it's going to be a good one, man. Like I said, as soon as he wins, man, I'm going to hit him up, bring him in here, tell him to bring that belt, and, you know, go from there, man. Yeah. But another bout I wanted to cover, man. We have another local from San Antonio, and Jake Rozek. Mm-hmm. Now, he's actually fighting Jake Haas out of San Francisco, man. This is just going to be it's going to be on the main card at 150 pounds. Now, Jake, I'm assuming, trains out of Ohana.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the guy's out there training with probably a student of Washington, but I mean, there's a couple of Muay Thai stand-up coaches out there doing good things. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, definitely, once again, man, I'm going to be biased and pull for the local, man. I mean, of course, the guys traveled out there, man, so it's always a hit or miss when they travel because of jet lag or just even being cramped up in the vehicle or in a plane getting out there, man. But hopefully they got there a few days earlier to stretch out and get ready for this.
Yeah, and I think the advantage he's going to have is, he's going with his teammate who's actually fighting as well. And so when you have two fight camps that are, or two teammates and they have fight camps side by side simultaneously, I'm assuming Jake's probably a little bit, or at least wasn't as developed as Washington is, but getting to train with him, getting to be with him 24, pretty much 24/7.
They make you better, man.
His development probably really grew tremendously from what he was already at. It does show that he had a couple of, I think, was it one MMA fight, which is probably about right. But if you're dedicating yourself to just the stand up, and then you're working with Washington, and then there's a big group of guys over there at Ohana, so. I know he's getting the work that's needed to prepare for this fight. So there's not a shortage of training partners.
No doubt, man. They have a huge gym out there. There's definitely full of people, of people to compete or train with, should I say? But everybody, this is for the Lion Fight 72. Now they are going to be on the UFC Fight Pass, so check them out. Support, man. Next one I wanted to jump over, man, real quick. It's going to be for the BELLATOR 272 card. Once again, it is going down tonight, and man, it's one title fight on this card is going to be Sergio Pettis, 21-5, and he's actually fighting Kyoji Origuchi, and I hope I said that right, man, because it sounds right. But his opponent, man, he's actually the champion at the Rising promotion out there in his hometown or his home country, and it's going to be good, man. Champion versus champion, and it's the first time ever in this weight division at 135. With something like this, man, and I just want to say this off the bat. I mentioned on the other bout, Sergio's from here in the U.S., man, so he's already a local. He didn't have to fly across the ocean just to get out here and compete. Yeah. So I think he's going to have the advantage to the home turf. Kyoji, of course, he's he's a champion for a reason, man. The guy definitely goes out there, leaves it all in the cage or in the ring. And we'll see, man. I'm excited about this. And what are you thinking? What are your predictions on something like this?
Well, first thing I want to say is I'm just glad it's champion versus champion. I'm really a big fan of inter promotion, going against each other's. just to kind of say, hey man, who has the better roster or whatever. So I do like that quite a bit. I'm looking at Pettis, and he has a long list of guys here. A lot of guys are local, at least from Texas. I'm looking at Will Campuzano.
That's right, man. He was actually one of the guys in the UFC.
Yeah, very. And so that's I know he was doing a lot of things in Dallas, and he has that on his resume, beating him. And then of course he has a lot of other guys that he's beaten as well. Again, jumping over to Hiraguchi, or however you say it. Again, a long list of win streaks, back and forth, and fighting over. And you said in one, right? Rising. Man, so a lot of experience on both sides. If I'm going to be probably biased a little bit, it's going to be towards Sergio, man. Of course, with his brother,
Anthony Pettis.
Training together, and they're up in Milwaukee. They have was it Duke Rufus still, I believe.
No, yeah, they have their own gym also, man, called Pettis MMA. So they're definitely doing their own thing, but of course affiliated.
Yeah, so. Man, I mean, I'm gonna go with Sergio on this one, man. I just think I'm gonna always assume that he's probably fought a little tougher talent than what Hiraguchi's fought. So that's where I'm gonna place it on, man. They both have a lot of experience on both sides, but I think the competition on our end in the States is probably a little bit tougher.
No, for sure, man. One of the things I want you to bring up, man, is because in Rising they use the boxing ring. They don't use the cage, that's why another one. I think Pettis is going to be able to utilize that.
Oh yeah.
Pick his opponent. I mean, I know with I talked about different platforms before on the previous interviews and stuff, but one of them is in the cage. Of course, you sprawl, you ain't going nowhere, man. In the ring, you sprawl, you kind of like, hey, they got to restart it, and it gets confusing. Vale Tudo days they used to do that, and people be flying outside the ring, man. So safety wise. And but I think that for a fact, I mean, I think that's going to be to his advantage, and he's going to utilize it. And he's going to put him against the cage and just wear him out and knock him out.
Yeah, man. I have never fought in a ring or anything like that. But I mean, as far as like the cage, I mean, you tend to use it, because it's just another obstacle or another object that you can use in the cage to pin your opponent against. But yeah, in the ring, I mean, you slide underneath the ropes. I mean, you're sliding. So that is going to be a big difference for him, man. So could be a very big advantage.
No, for sure, man. Now we're gonna go down to the co-main event. Now this one's gonna actually be a teammate of Pettis, which in Emmanuel Sanchez, El Matador. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, the guy's a stud, dude. I mean, I like his fight style, man. He goes out there, he fights. I mean, he goes out there and starts swinging. Now he's coming on this with a 2-fight losing streak. Yeah. Now the first one, of course, I mean, he lost to Patricio Pitbull. This was for the title. He lost via guillotine. I mean, the second one, of course, he lost via unanimous decision, man. On these, man, I don't think it says a lot for what he's done. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, he has that losing streak he wants to get rid of. Him bouncing back and fighting Jeremy Kennedy, man. I mean, the guy's from Canada. He's coming in with a 16-3 record. And for the most part, both guys are coming in with the losing, like with 2-fight losses. So it's more of a battle of staying on top. I mean, at this point, neither of them wants to lose. So it's gonna be a fight, man. I see both coming in swinging. Jeremy Kennedy, he's a veteran of PFL. I mean, he's fought UFC. I mean, he's fought everywhere, man. But I mean, it's just gonna be a battle of nutrition, man. Whoever's gonna want it the most is gonna get that win.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely, man. I'm looking at Jeremy Kennedy's kind of his resume, man, and I see Edwin Najmi, and man, yeah, he's a really good grappler. I mean, he lost him. That was at rear naked choke in overtime. Then the other one I'm looking at is another local guy that he fought was Daniel Pineda.
That's right.
That ended up being a no contest. And then he has a loss to Volkanovski. The 145-pound champion right now.
That in the PFL or in the UFC?
That was in the UFC 221.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So, with both of, I mean, so he's been to the big show. With both the guys, man, coming off of a 2-fight losing streak. They're both trying to make a statement. Hey, who can kind of stick around? Who's gonna, be here at the end of the day? So, but with him, again, training with Sergio and then the Pettis brothers, man. I mean, that's got to give you a lot of confidence. Just like we talked about with Jake and Washington. So
yeah,
when you're able to go in there together with a teammate, man, it's just different. It's just it feels you a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more relaxed. You know, you have somebody who's going right through it too, so maybe the nerves aren't there as much if they ever were for him. But again, yeah, he is. You know, you're fighting, so you always got to be a little nervous, right? A little scared. And then of course he also fought Daniel Pineda.
yeah,
and he won a split decision. And then like I said, just looking at some of the other guys, man. So these guys, I mean, they have a laundry list of guys.
Oh yeah, they fought the who's who, man.
They fought
definitely up and comers and
a lot of good guys. So, but with this one, man, you know what? I'm probably gonna go with Kennedy, man. I think I'm gonna roll with Kennedy on this one.
I see if Emmanuel can finish it early, man, I see him getting the win. Either TKO, KO. I mean, the guy does have hands. It is in the featherweight division, of course, 145 pounds, so there's a knockout power in that division. But yeah, man, if it goes late in the round, I see Jeremy Kennedy getting the win via submission, maybe even TKO.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is going to be for the BELLATOR card tonight. I mean, of course, it is going to be available on Showtime. Something I don't have. I gotta call my cable guy, man. Get that one set up. But
pay those bills.
Yeah, because it's going to be good, man. I like it, man. BELLATOR, I've always been a fan. Hopefully, they'll come through Texas again soon. But we'll see, man. But the card, of course, you know, it's going to be a BELLATOR 272. And we're going to jump over to the next promotion, man. This is going to be for the LFA 119. Now, this is actually taking place in Phoenix, Arizona. And, of course, LFA, man, a lot of people don't know. They basically combined with the RFA promotion. Emmanuel was offered the matchmaking job with the UFC. He jumped ship. I think it was a Legacy Fighting Championship was what it was called before. So, I mean, of course, you know, here we are, man, but the promotion. And I just wanted to bring this up real quick, man, because the LFA, for the longest time, they were the feeder company into the UFC. I mean, they were probably the first ones in the UFC Fight Pass. Yeah. You know, and because of that. And now that all these other promotions, I just feel like when they go to these local, regional, like areas, man, they can't. They don't have the choice to pick a lot of the fighters because a lot of them are already in contract. Yeah. And so that's kind of why I've been seeing their cards are a little bit bleak when it comes to beginning of the cards, man. Which is nothing wrong with anything. I mean, it's just definitely experience. Mm-hmm. But I've been noticing that because a lot of the cards, I mean, they get like whoever's, I don't want to say whoever's left over, but whoever's not signed. Yeah. And so it's good. I mean, it's bad, but in a sense, it's good because now it's giving other guys opportunities to get on there and make a name for themselves, man. Yeah, no, definitely, man. I mean, like I said, LFA is a good promotion. It's good to get exposure. I mean, I think anytime you can, you're part of fighting and you're trying to get looked at or whatever. Hey, I just need to jump on a show. Like let me get in the ring. Let me showcase my skills, and then somebody's bound to pick me up if I'm that good. So, it can be a little frustrating though at times, right? Oh yeah, bro. You see, and on this one, man, I wanted to go over the main event. I mean, of course, we have Josh Silveita. Now, Josh is actually the son of Conan Silveita, man, who's the Carlson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I mean, the guy was old school, Vale Tudo, MMA. He accomplished a lot in his own. And his son, of course, I mean, obviously, he's doing great things, man. I mean, he's actually the 205 champion for the LFA promotion. He is stepping down or going down in weight to compete at 185. 6-0 record. I mean, undefeated. Of course, trains with his dad out there in Coconut Creek, Florida. Mm-hmm. With something like, I mean, as far as a name like that, man, is there a lot of pressure going into it, do you think? I would say, I mean, yes and no, because anytime it's like, hey, man, your dad used to do this or your dad's doing this or whatever. I mean, you would expect the son to have some type of skill set, at least, be ahead of the curve. So, I mean, yeah, it's always depending on the guy that's fighting them. That ego, that competitive edge, be like, okay, well, you have all the advantages of having your dad there, who's trained, who runs his own gym and everything like that, and then I'm going to show you that I can still beat you, Yeah. And so, yeah, it can always be looked at as a bad thing, but of course, I mean, dad's doing everything right, training them, coaching them, putting good people around him. I mean, there's really nothing to worry about. And you're looking at Josh's record, he's a perfect 6-0, and. He's finishing guys. It's not that he's going the distance. I think
there's no decisions on here.
No.
Everything's either a submission or a TKO or a stoppage like that. And then of course you go over to Jared, who's 11-2, so it's a jump in competition. But thing about him, he's also winning by stoppages and submissions and stuff like that. So I plan on it to be a very exciting fight and a really good test for Josh, and hopefully keep his unbeaten streak going.
Yeah, bro. You see, and like you said, man, it's a good opportunity for both. I mean, obviously, Josh, if he wins, he's a 2-time champ. Something very well of. And of course, I mean, he's gonna have that on his record, his resume. It's gonna look great. Mm-hmm. I know Josh. I believe he's 28 years of age, so he is a little bit younger than his opponent. Mm-hmm. But I mean, what do you think with something like this? Would you say? Like, do you think the UFC would pick him up with a record like this?
With 6-0 and 7-0,
right?
Man,
to green, maybe.
I mean, they would have to look at it. I mean, he's also at 185. I mean, that division is kind of deep. They have quite a bit of guys. So it's like, how many guys can they sign on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he might be in a spot. I think maybe if he. I mean, he probably has a better chance at 185 to get in the UFC, but, because dropping down to 170 wouldn't do anything. But, I mean, hell, I think he doing the move up to 205.
Yeah.
Might give him a better chance, better look at. So, maybe that's something that he could probably negotiate in the contract, if he were to get signed with the UFC. But I think to get in there, let's jump him in at 205 and then later on maybe transition him to a 185. Right?
Yeah, give him that option. A lot of people do that, man. They go in there and they realize, they're too small for that weight class, or they get stronger. But yeah, man, like I said, I mean, Josh, Silveita, of course, he's fighting Jared Rebel, the experienced fighter. Jared Rebel, I think he has a 7-fight win streak, so he's coming in with a lot of a good push, man. I mean, it's gonna be good, man. If Jared, the Rebel nickname, if he can take his opponent out, then that's going to definitely boost him up, because it'll create another opportunity for him.
Yeah.
And it's going to be exciting, man. I mean, we'll see where it goes, man. I mean, it's going to be, U.S. versus Canada. I believe that's where he's from. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, if you had to call it, man, how do you see this ending?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Jared. I'm going to go with Jared, man. I just think, just having a little bit more experience. I think not so much that Josh is going to feel any pressure or anything like that, but I think Jared's shown that he can be a little bit more adaptable to what's going on. So it's, man. I mean, he's ranked number 1 in Canada, both in, I guess, in the East and also in the West.
Yeah.
Fought some good guys. And, I just don't see... I wouldn't be surprised if Josh won, but I'm not. Yeah, it's a big step in competition for him. So I'm gonna go with Jared, man.
No, I mean, I feel the same way, man. I mean, honestly, I am gonna push for Josh Silveita. Okay. I mean, I've seen the guy fight. I've watched him. I followed him. I know the first time they announced Conan's son was fighting, I kind of jumped on it because I'm a huge fan of Conan Silveita from old school. Okay. And so I think he's gonna be able to weather the storm, take him down, pick his shots. I mean, his opponent's good, has a good submissions as well, man. So I don't think he's going to dominate the ground, but I think he'll be able to, if anything, take him down and just beat him down. That kind of like weather the storm that it is going to get tired and capture.
Just ground him out.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, man. But we'll see, man. It is for the title. It is for for moving up, of course, in the fighting ranks. So there's a lot of pressure, man. I mean, we'll see how they deal with it, and we'll see who comes up with the victory. Yeah. Now, the next one, bro, it's going to be for the co-main event. It's going to be for the vacant Lfa Bantamweight Championship. Richard Valencia, undefeated, 9-0. He's a local to Phoenix, Arizona. Trains out of the Lab MMA, or MMA Lab.
MMA Lab, yeah.
Yeah, and he trains out there with Ben Henderson. And his opponent, man, Alan Begoso out of Brazil, 6-0-1. So both these guys are undefeated. Both are looking to move up, man. I mean, I'm looking at this, and it's gonna be fireworks, bro. Like I'm definitely looking forward to this bout.
Yeah, looking at Big Oso, man, he has a lot of he's pretty much won every single way you can think of, man. Guillotine, choke punches, decision, heel hook, and then of course he has a majority draw. So he's been through all of it. Has a lot of 7-5 win streak. just fought in May, so fairly recent. I'm looking over here at Richard and see what he's got again. 9-0, 81 in the United States. Federico, okay, he. So there's a connection right there, man. I got Federico, man. We saw him fight in Combate Global. Yeah. He actually fought one of the guys here in town, and and they went to a decision. So I understand how tough that is, man. And then let's see, man. We also have a lot of rear naked chokes, and then on some of these, man, they just say win. So split decisions, man. Richard looks like he can weather the storm a little bit too, but. If I'm gonna have to put my money on anything, man, I'm probably gonna go with Allen, man. It just, like I said, it seems like
finisher.
He's a finisher, man. Yeah, and I think that's what you want to look for. I mean, it's he's 6-0. He's not scared to go for the submission. He's not scared to try to find the fight and finish it, man. So I really enjoy that. Anytime you have that in a fighter.
Oh yeah, it makes a fight, man, because it's just like with jiu-jitsu. Both guys trying to play the guard game, and it just gets boring after a while, man. But I mean, with something like this, man, I mean, it can go either way. Both guys can either go out in the flurry and just try to capitalize and go out to win, or both guys can play it safe and go out not to lose, man. So it can be exciting at the same time. It can be boring as hell, dude. So I mean, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with same thing, man. I mean, styles make fights. You can have two really good strikers, and then they're just kind of staying on the outside of each other. You got two good wrestlers, and they're
make it into a wrestling match.
Yeah, so it's styles make fights. With this one in particular, though, man, I'm gonna roll with Allen. I'm gonna roll with Allen on that, man.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm pulling for the guy. I mean, if I had to put my money on him, I mean, definitely Allen. If I didn't have to put money on it, I'd say Richard Palacio, man. But Palencia, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's going to be exciting either way. The people that are going to be watching, of course, if you're out there, LFA 119, it's going to be on the UFC Fight Pass. Another great promotion, man. This is going down in Phoenix, Arizona. And that's our recap, man. Three great platforms. I mean, there's more out there. I know Combate Global is going on tonight as well. And we're going to cover another segment for that one next time. But I mean, everybody out there, man, this is TheFightCardPodcast. Once again, I am Spida, being joined Aaron Suarez. Aaron, did you want to say anything before I finish this out?
You know what, man? I'm again just scanning the card. The guy that I'm looking at is Chris Renteria. So Chris Renteria, man, he's being picked up by Top Shelf Promotions. Management that is actually run by another guy that I used to train with, Chris Lopez.
That's right.
Who runs the the Fury stuff with the,
right. He's on there.
With Eric, right? He's kind of helping out. So I'm looking out for that fight as well because I know Chris. I've always called him like the third Diaz brothers, the way he used to fight and get caught up in just the attitude that he had. So if he's behind this guy who's Chris Renteria, then I'm expecting something really big from Chris Renteria, man. So on this card, man, it's gonna be a lot of guys that are just up and coming. Guys making debuts, maybe 1-0, 0-1. Chris is actually 2-0, so look for big things from Chris, man. I'm really excited to see what he's all about, especially since I know Chris Lopez has his backing.
No, for sure, man.
When it comes to that agency, so that's what I got, man.
No, yeah, and everybody out there listening, man. I mean, right now we got our information from Topology. I mean, they're definitely up to date on their fighter stats. So need more information as far as the card and who's on it, man. Go to topology.com. And as always, man, this is Spida. We are the Fight Card Podcast. Until next time, follow up.